Hey, what's up? It's Dan Perry, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to replace an old tiled-in undermount sink like you see right here. And basically, I'm going to show you how to go from this old, beat-up, two-basin piece of garbage to a brand new, modern stainless steel sink. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I've got this old damaged sink right here with chips and all kinds of issues with it that my wife has been wanting me to replace ever since we moved into our house. But I haven't really found or figured out an easy way to do it, so I've kind of been avoiding the project. Now, I don't want to have to replace the countertops. I don't want to spend that money on the countertops right now. It's not really a good investment. And I also don't want to have to re-tile in a new sink, search for tiles that match, figure out how to match the grout and all that stuff. I don't want to go through that. I think it's going to take way too long. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to take this angle grinder right here and I'm going to carefully cut along the edge to the exact size I need to install the new drop-in stainless steel sink. I'll probably have to cut through the sink as well. Hopefully not, but I probably will. And I'm kind of experimenting here. I don't know what to expect. I've never done this before. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. The first step is to turn off the water supply to the faucet and then unhook all of the plumbing fixtures. I'm not going to go into depth on how to do that because there are plenty of other videos that already cover this. Once you've done with that, it's time to get that old sink out of there. So your new sink should have come with a cutout template. Measure that so you know exactly how big to cut the hole for the new sink. Then transfer those measurements to the countertop where you will use them to guide your cuts. Then use masking tape to trace out the hole you will be cutting. And this will do two things. It will give you a line to follow while making your cuts, and it will protect the tile around your cuts. Now, a big part of this project is going to be controlling dust because you will be kicking up a lot of dust. I set up a dust cloth around the sink so that the rest of my house didn't get dusty. Now it's time to actually cut the tile. You're going to want to be careful here and you're going to want to go slow. So the tool I'm using here is a 4-inch angle grinder with the diamond blade on it. In my other hand, I'm holding the hose of a vacuum that's running so that I can suck up as much dust as possible because again, this creates a lot of dust. Now I also have a fan in the window to the left, which is pulling dust directly out of the house, so none of the dust is going back into the house. And the key here is to not cut too fast. If you try to go too fast, you're going to end up chipping the tile. If you go slow, you'll actually get a cleaner cut. Also, try to keep the blade as straight as possible, again to reduce chipping, but also so your grinder doesn't try to run off on you. And you'll notice that I'm wearing a respirator, some safety goggles, and some earplugs. And not only does this protect my senses, it allows me to stay calm while I'm cutting and even enjoy cutting the tile. Now you may even need to make multiple passes, so you might not cut all the way through the first pass. So just take your time here and go slow. And just so you know, these last two cuts are sped up to about 600% of their normal speed, so this video doesn't take forever. Once you're done cutting with the angle grinder, go back around with a chisel or something sharp to scrape away the excess mortar or chip away any extra mortar, being careful not to chip the tile, of course. Now in this case, I got lucky and the old sink is smaller than the hole I cut for the new sink. That allowed me to just be able to lift it straight out. Now if it wasn't, I would have had to put a metal blade on my angle grinder and then cut through the sink as well, because the sink is actually made of metal. I'm really glad I didn't have to do that, and I was so happy to see this old sink go. The next step is to cut through the plywood that supported the old sink. So to do that, start off by drilling some 1/2-inch holes in the plywood in each corner. And this will allow you to stick the blade of a Sawzall in there and then cut around the plywood pretty easily. Notice how I'm holding the Sawzall at an angle. Now this is to keep the saw from vibrating the countertop too much. I'm also not pushing very hard, and I'm allowing the saw to do the work for me. If I push too hard, or if I hold the Sawzall straight up and down, I'll end up vibrating the entire countertop and potentially rattling loose some of the tiles around the sink. I definitely don't want to do that. So again, taking your time here can really save you time from having to do unnecessary repairs later. And once you're done cutting, you can test fit the sink, make sure everything's good to go, and then get ready for the final installation. Okay, so I got the old sink out and I have the new sink sitting in the hole that I cut out for it. And there are a couple extra challenges with the sink that I ran into that I was kind of expecting. But here's what I did. So first off, there were some high points in the tile. So it was kind of holding up the sink, and then there'd be large gaps underneath in certain areas. So what I did was just took the grinder, and with the side of the grinder blade, I just shaved down those tiles so the sink would sit a little bit flatter on the countertops. The second challenge I ran into is that these little sink clips, the sink clips that actually hold the sink in place, they're not long enough because you have the thickness of the tile and then you have the thickness of the plywood, and they're just a little bit too short. So what I did there was I actually cut holes. I actually drilled some holes with a 1/2-inch drill bit. I drilled 3 holes, and then I chiseled out the remainder so I could create a little slot where I could actually hook this piece underneath that slot. And I did that in specific areas. So as you can see, I have this tape all the way around, and the tape serves 2 purposes. The first purpose is when I put silicone on this before I set the sink in the final installation, I don't have to sit there and wipe it with acetone or anything to clean it up. I could just take off the tape and I'll have a nice clean line. And secondly, to mark the location of where I want these sink clips. So there are some extra challenges, but it's still easier than trying to retile in another undermount sink. Now it's time for the final sink installation. So once you've test fit the sink to make sure it fits, apply a thick bead of silicone all the way around the edge of the countertop, and make sure it's thick enough to make contact with the sink all the way around so you don't get water leaking under your sink later. Then carefully set the sink in place without smearing the silicone. Then go below the sink to install the sink brackets, which are going to clamp the sink directly to the countertop. You're going to install these all the way around the sink, and take your time here. This step does require some patience. Once you've got the sink clamped down, clean up any extra silicone that is spilled out over the edges and remove the masking tape. And now your sink is successfully installed. The only step now is to hook up the plumbing. Again, I'm not going to go in depth on how to hook up the plumbing. There are plenty of other videos that already do that. But as you can see, this is actually a relatively straightforward project. And this method is about 10 times easier and faster than trying to retile a new sink into the existing countertop. Now the key here is to plan everything out before you start. Before I started this project, I made sure to find a sink that was big enough to cover the old hole that would be left over from removing the old sink. And I actually got really lucky and found this sink, which had squared corners that perfectly covered up the grout around the sink, and it looks really good. Now, of course, I would love to replace these old tile countertops. However, I just don't think it's worth it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment with any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.